Thank you for taking our question, Senator Vance. I'm Ben Margiott with News 4 and Fox 11 here in Reno. If elected, what specifically would you do to prevent transgender women from playing in women's sports? Because in Nevada, the University of Reno's Reno's president, a Republican, we might add, says that it's against the Nevada Constitution to forfeit a game for reasons related to gender identity.
Well, so here's the problem here, is that you have to make clear that Title IX protects the interests of our young girls instead of facilitating the destruction of girls' sports. That's all you have to do. Title IX. Now, maybe we have to amend the law, or maybe it's just a matter of enforcement, but we've got to make clear that Title IX protects the rights of our young girls to compete against young girls. It's that simple. And this is, I mean, look, this is a public safety issue, especially with contact sports. I'm the father of a 2-year-old daughter. I don't want my little girl to grow up to compete in sports and then to get bludgeoned by a man. That's disgusting. It's disgraceful. It can't happen in the United States of America. I want her to build confidence. I want her to learn teamwork. I want to learn about the give and take of sports. That's why we think it's so important for our young girls to participate in sports. But in the name of a far left, lunatic, progressive idea, we are destroying girls' sports in this country. It's going to have ramifications far beyond just athletic competition. So I think that's the big thing, is Title IX, and there are all of these weird and frankly sick little ways in which the Harris administration has put pressure on local school districts to comply with their interpretation of some of these approaches. For example, this hasn't gotten too much media coverage, but it is, I think, one of the worst scandals. Is early on in the Kamala Harris administration, they threatened to take free and reduced lunch money away from local school districts unless those local school districts allowed men to compete in girls' sports. Now, but just think about that. Think about that. We're going to take food away from the mouths of our poor children because a local school district wants to protect girls' sports. That is a disgusting thing to do to our people, and it's going to stop when Donald Trump is president. But it's so odd to me that the national media never asked Kamala Harris, do you agree with taking food from the mouths of poor children if they don't agree with your radical trans ideology? Why have they asked her that? Why hasn't she been forced to answer a single question about literally trying to take food from our poor kids? I grew up in a family where we often struggled to put food on the table. I am so glad that when I was growing up in this country, Democrats and Republicans believed we ought to feed our children and not use them as political weapons for radical ideas.